Hi, my name is Taylor Darcy with Darcy Law. I'm coming to you live today. It's an exciting day. It's Wednesday, September 6th. I see someone's excited to be here already. They just gave me a like. So today I'm going to be answering your questions that I've seen. I follow Facebook groups, and so I'm here to help with your business. So the first thing I want to address is I hope that I get a few more viewers, get a few more people watching, because I am planning on giving away something at the end of the broadcast that is pretty great. So the thing is that number one, the rules are this: it's not transferable, so you can't give this away to somebody else, because I'm a firm believer that in life you have to show up. So if you want it, that you got to be here for it. So in order to qualify for it, I need to get a comment. I need any questions you have. Let's start with where you're from. That would be great. If you share where you're from, that'd be that way we can talk about that. The other thing is, this is only available to people in California, unfortunately. So if you're watching this from outside of California, I'm not licensed outside of California, so I unfortunately can't help you. So I hope you're all having a great day. Let's dive right into the first question, and hope people will come and watch. So first question is, the question was, if a limited liability company or an LLC doesn't prevent personal liability, in other words, you can still be liable for torts, then what's the point, right? Why should I do one? Well, the reality is that, and there's a couple of reasons for that. First, the reason why it doesn't eliminate personal responsibility or liability is that, first of all, it's a limited liability company, not a no liability company. And what it limits you to is the liability that's associated with the company, not not your own personal actions, right? The idea being that if a company could eliminate all accountability, that people would never be accountable for their actions. You could just form a company, have the company do it, and then you'd get away with it, right? So the idea, the policy reason is that you can't escape personal liability for something. The next thing is that you really only need the liability protection in regards to business, and that's what a limited liability company does. Is it eliminates the liability that's associated with the business against your personal assets. So I tell you that because it's important to know that it has nothing to do with, it can't eliminate personal responsibility for something. So when you're forming an LLC, then hey Katie, when you're forming an LLC, it's the purpose of it is to reduce your own personal liability when it comes to the business, but you can't reduce your liability for your own actions. So in other words, you can't hurt somebody and expect, because you did it for the sake of the company, that you're able to escape it. So that's the first question that I wanted to answer today. The second question is, hey Katie, where are you calling from, or where are you tuning in from? The second question is, well, if it doesn't relieve my personal responsibility and it only has to do with the business, when should I do an LLC? Well, there's a couple of answers to that. Some people, it's as soon as you start a business, because you don't want to be personally contractually liable for that. It's 2 p.m., Katie. Welcome from the UK. That's awesome. So it's personal. You don't want it to be, so you don't want to be personally liable for something, contracts or that sort of thing. So that's one thing. that doesn't make a lot of sense when it comes to, like, for instance, taxes. In California, there's a minimum of $800 tax that's required of all corporations. And that's just California. Other states have different requirements. So keep in mind that when you're making those decisions, that's a factor. But I also look at that $800 as a way to stave off, potential liability and litigation. So when is the right time? It depends on who you ask. Some people are going to give different opinions. Me personally, I try to avoid it as much as possible, and if I have to pay the taxes, then you have to consider that it might be worth it. But your individual situation is what matters. So, Katie, do you have any questions for me? While Katie's typing, so it's important that you make decisions based on what is right for you. And that's why I always say, see someone in your local area that's an attorney to help you make the decision. Because honestly, what's right for you may not be right for somebody else. For instance, an LLC may be the best option, but an S Corp or a C Corp, all these different business entities, there's no such thing as one better than the other. They are different. The best one is the one that you use, the one that you stick to, the one that makes sense for you. That's what you want to focus on. So so far there's 2 of you here. I'm hoping that a few more will join us shortly. I really want to be able to give this away. Unfortunately, it does have to be someone in California because that's where I'm licensed. Hey, Katie, I'm talking about personal responsibility or liability and an LLC. So it's good to have you here. The next question I get is, why have a different entity? Well, an LLC is actually a fairly new entity. They have not been around as long as a corporation. It used to be just corporations that were affected, that gave that liability protection to shareholders. This new hybrid, it gives you the pass-through taxation of an LLC while giving you the benefit of the liability protection. Now, an S Corp is actually a C corporation, but with a tax designation of an S Corp. And that's important to know because you can actually lose your S corporation, your tax status, if you're not careful. So you really have to pay attention to what an S Corp has. Welcome. Anybody else that just is tuning in, feel free to comment. I'd love to hear where you're from and what I can do for you. So those are things to consider. We're almost done for the day, and it looks like I've got lots of likes and hearts and stuff, but Katie is the only one on here, and Katie, you live in the UK. Unfortunately, I can only do this, what I was trying to offer. This month is my wife's birthday month. So what I wanted to do in honor of that is I wanted to give away a free LLC single member formation. Now, I'll do the work, but it would be the fees that would be up to you. Unfortunately, nobody came that I could do this or I could give this to. So unfortunately, it looks like I won't be able to give that away today because, again, it's all about showing up. And unfortunately, as sad as that is, only a few people showed up, and she lives in the UK, and I unfortunately can't open a corporation for someone in the United Kingdom. But Katie, if you were interested, you could open a corporation here. I'd do the work if you paid the fee. We're going to be ending here shortly, but I hope you'll tune in next week or tomorrow for any videos. Tomorrow is Thrilling Thursday. I'm very excited for that because I have something awesome to share with you. Again, my name is Taylor Darcy with Darcy Law. I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you next week with any of your questions that you may have. Feel free to send them to me, send them in the comments. Let me know. I'd be more than happy to talk with you and offline and maybe go live with you. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.